My name is Raymond Viano. I'm an environmental health technician at Bosha Clinic, which is in Ward 10, Jete Ward, under Makumbe District Hospital, which is in Goromonzi District. Here at Bosha Clinic, I represent the environmental health department. Talking of Bosha Clinic, it's actually a clinic which caters for 38 villages, and there's a population size of 12,539. We also border places like Murewa and Shamba District, much central, so which means we also serve patients from those localities. When I assumed office at Bosha Clinic, that was in 2020, I faced a worrying trend of increasing cases of diarrheal diseases. You'd find that according to the T5 register, as part of community diagnosis, trying to appreciate various health challenges affecting my community, in 2017, Bosha Clinic recorded 489 cases of diarrhea, 2018, 503 cases, and then 2019, 501 cases of diarrhea. This was a worrying trend, for I appreciate that if this situation is not contained, it can degenerate into typhoid, cholera, and other diarrheal diseases. So action was needed. So it is against this background now that I initiated the concept, Jete Ward 10 Health Club. Also looking at the water and sanitation picture at that time, you'd find that access to safe water and sanitation was a major issue. Access to improved sanitation lags significantly behind at 58%, meaning 58% of the total households by then, which were 1,742, had proper sanitation. But 42% of that population had no access to water and sanitation. Also looking at the sanitation picture, only 1,010 households had toilets, 53 households had cement portrex, the majority of households had wooden portrex. So I really wanted to change that situation. Also in terms of hand hygiene, only 15 households had hand washing facilities, representing a paltry 1% of the total households. So this situation was worrying, and as an environmental health technician, I was eager to change that negative trajectory. And when I got the privilege to train at Joshua Ngomo Polytechnic, which is in Gwanda, under Matebelen North, one of the questions that I was posed when interviews were being done, the driving force behind wanting to be an EHT was to save my community. So I really wanted to live up to that promise and up to that expectation. So of course, health promotion has always been part of our key responsibilities. As we interact with the community, trying to explain to them the risk associated by having poor and water and sanitation situation. But of course, they always answer back by saying, Mr. EHT, the idea is good, but we don't have financial resources to address those problems. So you'd find that I developed a concept which I named Jete Ward 10 Health Club, with the aim, the goal of trying to reduce the burden of diarrheal diseases in Ward 10, and the specific objectives were to attain an open defecation-free Ward 10 through construction of new toilets, rehabilitation of existing ones, and objective number 2 is to increase access to clean water by protecting existing depots, drilling new bores with a strong focus on solar power, and the third objective is to promote hygiene through construction of cement portrex, hand washing facilities, fencing of households. Of course, we coined 4 key pillars of our program, which I want to believe are the values of the program: unity, production, transparency, and development. So Jete Ward Health Fund program With this program, communities are actively taking ownership and leading in the process of improving their sanitation practices by generating a strong demand for better toilet facilities rather than relying solely on external interventions to provide them, effectively putting the power of change in the hands of the community members themselves. So it is against this background that to date we have formed 70 health clubs. By the way, this program started in 2022 and it had a membership of 150, but the membership has since grown to 550 to date, with 750 subscribing accounts. We interacted with our local leadership, and I'm happy and I'm very grateful to the support that we received from our club patron, Headman E. Mongoni. He has been very supportive. He liked the idea, he accepted the idea, and he has been supporting us since then. So with this program, we are saying it is being headed by what should I call an executive committee. With this executive committee, it comprises of 12 members. Of those 12 members, 9 are directly voted into from 38 villages. So we grouped 38 villages into 9 distinct clusters. So it is from those 9 distinct clusters that we have 9 members voted into the executive committee. Of course, the 10th member is the EHT, who happen to be the secretary of that executive committee. The other 2 members, they also assist the EHT in discharging the duties of the program. Also on that, we realized that in order to solve these problems, definitely we need cash resources. So I exploited the existing opportunity in the community, the Mukande concept. You'd find that my community are well versed or are into the concept of Mukande. So we said, fine, let's start with $1. $1. We want to subscribe $1 every month for a period of 15 months. In that $1, we work together, we grow it at compound interest 20% every month. From that $1, we managed to construct toilets. That was the starting point. From that $1, we managed to construct toilets. We managed to construct a total of 236 toilets to date, and we also managed to upgrade pit latrines to BVIPs. So we managed to upgrade a total of 38 toilets to date. We also managed to construct 406 cement portrex, various types of cement portrex. And we also managed to construct 60 deep wells, and a total of 40 households benefited from this program through cement. We purchased cement for them to construct houses, for them to rehabilitate their houses. Some really wanted to put floors in their houses, and this is key in order to reduce TB cases. So we are also in the process of erecting security fence. To date, we've managed to erect security fence for 45 households, and our target by year end 2025 would have erected 100 households. And this type of fence is standard in the sense that looking at the type of wire is 2.5 millimeter gauge, which is the best, and even the size of the hole is quite small. In terms of height, it's 1.5 meters. That's the minimum. And the total size, the total length of the wire per each household is 200 meters. With this program also, you'd find that local communities are benefiting through employment creation. So we have a good number of local talent which is manning our welding department, and we have local talent which is also manufacturing cobra. We have a local talent which is into fence weaving, and we are also paying security guards at the clinic. We have assumed that responsibility to pay monthly salaries for our 2 security guards at the clinic to ensure the security of the institution. With this program also, we've managed to erect a waiting mothers, should I say, a patient waiting area where they can rest whilst they are waiting for their turns to be attended by the nurses. And we've also managed to take care of the various water points at the clinic. For example, we've managed to protect our deep well and our tap water source. With this program also, we have managed to mobilize our communities to have hand washing facilities. So 520 hand washing facilities have been installed to date. That is tip taps, water ends, popularly known as chukubu gears, with local available resources. We have also managed to construct 10 flush toilets. So meaning we have actually households which managed to construct flush toilets from this program. With this program also, we have ensured that we have volunteer health workers, a total of 18 volunteer health workers. You'd find that we are supposed to have 38 trained community health workers, but we have 20 trained community health workers to date, meaning the other gap, the 18, we try to convince the local talent also to participate in these activities on voluntary basis. And in terms of what we call mobilization committees, you find sometimes we have health programs which need collective effort in terms of mobilization. So we have ensured that each village is a functional mobilization committee. So these are some of the benefits also of this program. We also had the privilege to be supported by the provincial support team. It came down and appreciated our programs. We had an opportunity to visit various households and to appreciate what we are trying to achieve as a community together. But of course, yes, there are strategies which we employed for us to get to this stage. For example, the starting core was leadership engagement. We ensured that every step all the way we work in tandem with our local leadership. Like I said, that our local headman Mngoni happened to be our patron. He supported from day one, and we also make sure that we have the support of our Ward 10 councillor, Mr. Mpanguri, and we also have support of village heads chairperson, Mr. Manjonjo, and all the 38 village heads. We work together. So these results are a product of unity and a product of leadership engagement. Also on the part of community dialogue, which happens to be the owners of the program, it has been a process of continuous engagement, trying to understand them, trying to live with them, to start with what they know, build with what they have. That's why we said we started with $1, so that they appreciate that, yes, as an individual, you might not have money to build a toilet, but as a team, we can build those important facilities in our community. But of course, there's an element of transactional leadership. I introduced the concept of an ideal homestead. An ideal homestead in health circles happen to be a household with a toilet, a water source, a protected water source for that matter, and also a nutritional garden, a cement portrait, and those should be fenced. So this concept found traction with many of the community members. You'd find that it's transactional in the sense that, yes, someone might have a toilet already, but definitely that particular individual needs a fence. Someone might have a fence, a cement portrait, or a toilet, but he needs or she needs a solar system or a bowl. So it's transactional in the sense that we said, fine, regardless of our current status in the concept of an ideal homestead, we all need to achieve that. So we're a team with a common interest, common vision to uplift the standards of our households. But of course, I work with a dedicated, transparent, and accountable leadership. Like I said, I don't work alone. I have an executive team. We work together from local talent from different villages. Yes. But of course, yes, we say we need resources, hence the concept World Health Fund. So we subscribe every month, $1, some they subscribe $5, depending on the financial status of that particular individual. Health is for everyone, so we try by all means to move with everyone, regardless of his or her financial status. But of course, this program is a watertight accounting system. So I developed 6 different forms which assist in ensuring that there is proper accountability in financial management. In our program, in order to manage risk, it's account-based. The failure of a particular individual in terms of borrowing doesn't or must not affect the next person. And we make sure that we don't lend or we don't give money beyond the account balance of that particular individual, which means in the event equity there's a default, that particular individual anakuzosamali, you see, she's not supposed to affect the other people. So you find, of course, yes, in any process we cannot pretend that we are perfect. Our process, yes, has challenges here and there, but we try to manage failure so that failure should not be high. Failure rate should not be high. So how do we achieve that? By ensuring that this program is account-based. So we have 6 distinct forms, and which have a tight bookkeeping system. We want to make sure that our records are kept safely. Nothing compromises our record keeping. So the other part of information is kept on documents, right? But we also make sure that we have a soft copy of our accounts. So you also find that as part of risk management, for example, we get to a point whereby, since we'll be moving Nanagogo, the old, the young, some will get to a point whereby they cannot work whatever monies they will be not given. Say, for example, someone has been given 200. To others, that's quite high. It's not all of us who have the talent or the capacity to work that huge amount of money, you see. So you'd find with Wanagogo, yes, they need security, they need a toilet, but they don't have the mental capacity or the physical capacity to work that particular money. So we introduce the concept of projects. With this project now, we are saying we will not force you to borrow beyond your capacity, right? You now need to borrow enough to return back. So, but of course, that doesn't take away the fact that whatever the money is, say for example, someone has a running account of $200, then decides to borrow $100. That the other remaining $100 should be worked because it's supposed to grow at 20%. So we agreed now. Let's allow now the other 100 to grow through projects. So you'd find now we are into broiler production. We produce broilers 1,500 every week. We have that capacity. So with this concept now, we are saying, fine, go, yes, I'm going to kushanda mari, but now let's work your money through broiler production. It's now mandatory. So which means we have a common market. A common market, we are saying every member is supposed to participate in the marketing of that broiler production. Everyone is supposed to tora huku, every month. This is the same concept with the cobra production. We produce 2,500 containers of cobra, right? Then every member is required to part with 2 containers of cobra. So it's a continuation of growing our monies, right? So this program doesn't have a bank. So our monies will be circulating in those projects. Our monies will be also in assets. You'd find at the welding center there, we have now started to come up with door frames, window frames. So we have assets for this program. Then individuals also at any given point, so we don't allow a situation by anyone. This money, this fund, in circulation or individuals. This is part of risk management because we don't want a situation whereby some people fail. We also have a strong constitution to govern our operations, and we also have trained builders. But to ensure that we have continuous communication with our members, we have managed to set a date which we religiously agree on to end every month, whereby the EHT interact with community members so that they understand their accounts and they understand where the program is coming from and where it is going. Right. So this is the program. Of course, yes, to date, we are proud of what we've achieved, but going forward, we are also planning to have boreholes. Our first borehole project we expect to commission in sometime in October this year. So we have some members who are also subscribing towards boreholes. We also have members who are subscribing towards the solar system. So it's still work in progress. To date, like I said, we have 80% of the toilets, that's the sanitation coverage, but we also need to work on the 20% part to ensure that all villages, all households have toilets. To date, we have 15 villages which all have toilets. Should I say 15 ODA villages are waiting, of course, certification from the responsible authorities. So we are proud of our achievements, but it is through hard work, it is through teamwork. Here we are. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Takabata na kuumba churu chacho ni ichi.